Broadcasting live on YouTube, bitches. Come and join the party. I am now broadcasting on Google Hangouts, and we are live on YouTube. Subscribe to Open Up Hours, guys. Come and join the party. Let's make that a bit smaller. Quality is terrible. Oh, it's on full. Right, so 222. Why can't I hear anything? Oh, that's why. 222. Oh, that's why. 222. Haha. Oh, we got one person watching. Hello to you. We're just setting up at the moment. Sam should be with us in hopefully around about sort of 10 or 15 minutes. I better keep my phone on loud. Hear him. So let's get rid of Photoshop. Let's start. Two, 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 test, 222. That sounds pretty good. Shabba. So that's GarageBand. That's all good. I'll just keep an eye on that. GarageBand up here. Let's put YouTube here with the chat. Marvelous. No. Alrighty then. So, who have we got watching? Please do join the chat if you feel so, to know who's actually watching us right now. Going to get a few YouTube links actually ready. So Sam is just on his way now. He should be joining us in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then we shall get this show on the road. We are talking Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, reviewing all the latest series. So if you've seen any of them or watched any of them, any of that kind of guff, then hit us up. Send us a little message in the YouTube chat if you want. And yeah, we'll read out your messages. Just having a search for some links at the moment, stuff that we can play out. Oh, in fact, let's see if we can find a Flash Gorilla. Let's see if we can find the Gorilla City speech that he does. Excuse me. Oops, I just closed down my link by accident then. Ooh, now we've got 2 people watching. If you can get into the chat and tell us who you are and who's joining us, that would be awesome. If you're from another podcast, tell us who you are and we will shout you out and make sure the power people know who the hell you are. Might just move the mic down a little bit. Like so. 2222. There we go. What do I have it tilted down like that, maybe? There we go. That'll have to do. You shall have to just see my nose for now. We will be getting started pretty soon. Do. To report on at the moment. In fact, you know what I could do? Need like a little sign that I can put up that just says nothing to report on or nothing going on right now. Oh, here we go. Sam's just said he's ready. So we shall get into the Google Hangouts and we shall add him to the chat. Oh, Tommy Sword, invite. Here we go. He should be coming online now. Come on, Sam. Where are you? Where are you, you booger? I'll just send him a text. Sent you. Oh. Sam's now saying 2 secs. So he's obviously in the midst of something. So, also be going through our now annual CW awards tonight, guys. That's right. We're going to be giving away awards for all manner of ridiculous thing within the CW universe. Nice to see you, David. He probably is sleeping, to be fair. Thanks for joining us, my man. We appreciate it. That is, of course, David from Superhero Speak. As proud members, of course, of the Nerd Podcast Mafia. Good to have you on board.
Are we on? Hey, there he is.
How you living, my man?
I'm good. Am I coming through okay? I'm not sounding like I'm from the planet Zerg or anything like that.
No, you're sounding decent this week, Sam. Just give me some quick test titty sprinkles.
Test titty sprinkles. Test titty sprinkles.
Oh, you are coming through delightful, Sam. You were a little bit loud then. Just give me some more, please.
Titty sprinkles. Titty sprinkles. Test titty sprinkles.
Yeah, that'll do absolutely fine. It was bleeding out just a little bit, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. Can I just test something real quick?
We can. Yeah, go for it.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. That's absolutely fine. I was just because I wrote down some notes so I can refer back to them later. So when I'm doing my review, when we're doing the reviews of the series and stuff like that, I just wanted to make sure I could still bring up other documents whilst I was going through them and stuff like that.
Man, I mean, I have to say that you bringing up notes is ruining the brand of us being an unorganized, badly researched, ill-informed operation.
This is the thing. I went back and looked over the Wikipedia page of like all the episodes from like Legends, Arrow, Flash. I was like, shit, forgot that had happened. Oh my god, forgot. Arrow's 26 episodes long. Like 26 episodes, that's mental. Yeah. So anyway, to prepare for it, the guys at the guys at All Seeing Guys will be happy to know I've got my beer with me, and the other half of the Open Up Powers Power people will be happy to know it's that warm in my room. I've got no pants on. So yeah, covering both fan bases there.
That's how we roll, my man. That's how we roll.
It is.
Well, I just need to quickly find something. Is this going to play through the email? Yes, it is indeed. Right, okay. Let's find some intro music and we'll get this show on the motherfucking road.
Awesome.
My documents. Let's see. Open all powers. With QuickTime. And then let's also have, oh yeah, let's go old school as well. Well, a little bit old school. Right then, you ready, homeboy?
Yeah, I certainly am.
Sam, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Stuff. Whoa, holy shit! I've brought open like one of my YouTube links then.
Yeah.
That I've brought up that I was going to play later. It was like just an Arrow related thing, but I had that open and it said like 1,000 views. I was like, oh my god, we've got 1,000 watches. I was like, no, we haven't.
Got one.
Well, actually, no. Well, we've got David from Superhero Speak on with us at the moment, and we've also got Tim from Dark Horse Trades.
Hello, Tim.
So, at the moment, Tim's just said no robot voice for Sam this week.
No robot voice. I am in my own mind. I have not been taken over by the robot people.
Clearly. Right, okay, let's do this.
You're listening to the Open All Powers podcast. We got you, boo. Yes,
power people. Welcome to another episode of the almighty Open All Powers podcast. We are coming to you live from Manchester. My name is Gareth Eastwood, aka the motherfucking locomotive. I'm sat here in the Open All Powers Watchtower, and once again, coming to me over the waves of Google Hangouts, not sounding like a robot this week, it's none other than the SMG. It's Mr. Sam Eastwood. How are you doing, my man?
I'm not too bad at all. No, not sounding like a robot this week. I've charged the laptop. I've got the lightning rod out the window just for that extra boost of power in case we get a lightning strike. You know, I've got my cosmic treadmill on standby. So yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Sam, we were just saying then, you were just saying, sorry, off air before we started properly recording that
Yes.
you are rocking a bit of a brewski tonight. So a lot of podcasts do like a little feature. We'll discuss what tipple they're sampling for the evening's podcast. Maybe we should do that. Do you want to break down what you're drinking right now?
Yeah, okay. So I'm drinking a Lancaster Amber, which is this one here. It's a really nice beer. It's from a small microbrewery in Lancaster. You can actually go and visit it if you want to, and they do a tour. It's really good. I think it's like 20 quid or something like that. And you get a tour. You get 6 tokens at the beginning of your tour. So you go around the brewery, and then at the end of it, you trade in your 6 tokens for 6 half pints. So you can basically test like 6 different beers. It's really good. You get some food as well. That's included in the price. So like me and Samantha went. Haley and just Dave bought it for us for a birthday present. So we went on the tour, and basically we traded in our 6 tokens. It was really good. So we tried the Lancaster Blonde, the Lancaster Amber, the Lancaster Dark, which is quite a sort of quite a heavy one, and then there were some guest ales on as well. The one I had was the Admiral. What was it called? The Admiral. I can't remember. What's he called in Star Trek Enterprise? The Captain Scott Bakula. What the hell is he called?
Fuck.
I can't remember.
I literally can't remember.
No, I can't either. That's really going to annoy me. That. Anyway, it was his name. I can't remember. Oh fuck, that's really going to bug me now. What the hell is he called? Oh crap. Archer.
Hang on, let me
There we go. No, it was Archer.
I was gonna start singing "It's been a long road" just to try and remind you, but obviously you got it, Sam.
Yeah, no, it was yeah. So I had a few half pints of Admiral Archer as well, which was very nice. So yeah, so I don't know if you can get this abroad. I know you can buy it. I've never seen it in like Tesco's, but you can buy it in the co-op. The co-op sell it, or Asda or anywhere like that. But you can order it online as well. They come in like set packs of 4. So yeah, really nice beer. This one, quite sweet. This one as well. If you're into like your quite sweet beers, go for the Lancaster Amber or the Blonde. If you quite like your sort of your stouty drinks like your Guinness and stuff like that, porter, go for the Lancaster Dark. But all of them are really nice. So, yeah, check them out.
Very nice indeed. Well, Sam, despite the fact that some people may in fact know that I gave up drinking about a year ago or so, I have recently discovered a non-alcoholic beer, which I'm actually very, very keen on at the moment, and it is the Brewdog Nanny State. I'm going to hold it up to the camera so on YouTube can hear us. Sorry, can see it.
Can hear
now,
it.
when I was drinking, I used to absolutely. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, they can hear the beer. I don't quite know what that means. But yeah, I used to love the Brewdog Punk IPA. I just love like really, really hoppy beers. And it was actually the night when I went to see Wonder Woman. It was at a cinema that has a really, really good beer selection.
Oh yeah, which cinema did you go to?
I went to the Everyman Cinema in Leeds.
Oh
It's really, really proper lush sofas to sit on. It's very, very good. But I asked for a non-alcoholic ginger beer, and he said, "If you're not into non-alcoholic, have you tried this?" And I was like, "Oh well, I'll give it a whirl." And it's really, really nice. Like honestly, if you gave it to me and said like this is an alcoholic beer, I would completely believe you. Like it's got a really nice. A lovely hoppy taste. Tribute to the Epic Film guys, I'll say that it's got a nice mouth feel. That's one thing that they like to talk about. Obviously, it's like 0.5% alcohol volume, but yeah, it's very, very nice. It feels good to be whilst podcasting again. I don't know if it has like some sort of faux effect on me or something like that, but yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
I've often wondered that if you gave someone non-alcoholic beer and told them it was normal beer, would they psychologically feel the effects of the alcohol?
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I found
the trouble is I've never found a non-alcoholic beer that tastes nice enough to pass as regular beer, so I might have to try the one you're trying tonight.
Definitely, man. Yeah, well, I know that Erdinger do a non-alcoholic beer as well, and it's quite. If you buy it in a bar, it comes in like a bottle that's like it's like a pint and a half or something like that. So you get sort of more bang for your buck, if you will. Briefly moving on after that sort of a bit of an interesting segment to the show there that we've just decided to introduce. Of course, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting live on YouTube. So we have a few people watching with us now. Like I was saying, we've got David from Superhero Speak. We've got Tim from the Dark of All Trade. So I hope you're still with us, gents. And if you want to chip in with anything in today's conversation, please do. And we'll get onto that in a few minutes' time. But first of all, Sam, before we crack on, as you know, our buddy and our boy, Jack Webber, aka the Wolf of Kingston, big fan of the. Well, he recently went to the MCN Comic Con in London.
Yes, he did.
And I sent him a little. So I sent him a little message, and I was saying, like, do you want to like give us like a little wrap up, like a little kind of message that we can play out on the show? So I'm going to play that right now. He's given us his kind of little reports. This is almost like Jack's hot desk, if you will, over the things that he found at Comic Con. So we'll play that right now.
All right. What is going on, power people? Jack here. I hope everyone is fantastic. So, Gaz and Sam, aka the Eastwood Massive, have asked me to give a quick review of my most recent visit to MCM's Comic Con in London. So, I'm just going to crack on with it. So, I got there about 12-ish and obviously got a beer almost instantly. Fucking hell, it was busy, man. So many incredible costumes. People really seem to like their anime as well, for some reason. I saw a bloke dressed head to toe in like next level Walking Dead zombie shit, and he was spread out on the floor. He just wasn't moving. That gathered a pretty big crowd, which is quite amusing. Loads of trading stands and bigger companies were promoting the shit out of Wonder Woman and games like Injustice 2, which looks fucking sick, by the way. Saw a few people playing that. The super moves are awesome. I saw Flash Gordon as well, giving a little talk with a few people who have probably never even seen his fucking show, but that was still kind of cool. I managed to also, this is pretty cool, I managed to shake hands with Louis Ferrigno, or Louis the fucking gringo. I can never get that guy's fucking name right. But as some people know, he played the original Hulk from the TV series, which was quite a cool thing to do there. There was an entire section called Comic Village, and it was filled head to toe with freelance illustrators, artists, and writers. As Gaz and Sam mentioned previously, I've got my own Instagram art page called Headcase Illustrations, which is head_case_illustrations. So I spoke to loads of incredible artists and learned some really helpful stuff. Just got loads of hints and tips. Also, whilst I'm here, huge big up to the Eastwood boys for giving me a cheeky shout out. Really appreciate that, fellas. And drinks on me when you come down here. Hope you like tequila. One last cool moment for me was trying out the new game Farpoint on the PlayStation VR. Holy shit on a stick. This game is something else. Basically, I'm walking around a planet kitted out in some next level Halo armor, head to toe, just shooting giant spiders. It's amazing. Got a rifle and everything. Although I did nearly fall over a couple of times because this VR shit does make you go really giddy. Overall, an awesome day out. Great costumes, people playing with the latest tech and games. There was a big group of people playing Tekken 7. Tekken 7 looks awesome. Probably going to snatch up at some point. And just geek eye candy stretching through miles and miles of comic books. So there you have it. MCM Comic Con 2017. I've been Jack. I'm going to hand you back to Sam and Gaz now. So yeah, back to you lads. Peace.
Awesome. Thank you
Excellent.
very, very much indeed for that, Jack. that was really good. And I was have caught me when I listened to that originally when he sent it over the other day. Excuse me. Was the fact that he was talking about Injustice 2. Now, obviously, we are not gamers in any way, shape, or form, but this is a game that has really caught my eye. Now, I'm certainly not going to go out and spend a fortune on a next-gen console and start dicking about with bloody setting up online gaming and all that kind of guff. But I'm just thinking that if Jack is like quite a keen gamer and he's going to sort of look to kind of pick these things up, then, we'd love to hear from you again, dude. Maybe coming back with even coming on the show and doing like a review of some games. I think it might sort of, just add a new kind of sort of feature to the podcast.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Do you remember in Red Dwarf when the 4 original cast members, and they used to have Tony Hawks on, the comedian, and they used to refer to Tony Hawks as the 5th dwarfer. I think Jack's becoming the fifth power podcaster.
That's quite cool. That's quite cool. Well, of course, and I will just mention real quick, and this is more so for the benefit of the people watching on YouTube right now. But of course, we got to know Jack through Greg and Joe from the All Seeing Guys. And if I just lean up real quick, you can see that I'm actually wearing one of their T-shirts right there. There we go. And obviously only beneficial for the people watching us on a visual medium right now. But if you head over to redbubble.com and you search for the All Seeing Eyes podcast, you'll find you can buy tote bags, you can get T-shirts, you can get mugs, you can get the whole shebang, as well as picking up some Open All Powers gear as well whilst you're at it. But yeah,
plug our own bloody merchandise, guys.
Absolutely, but yeah, I thought it's only right that I rock a bit of All Seeing Guys merch tonight and let the Power people know about those guys. And of course, as Jack was saying, Headcase Illustrations on Instagram. Go and check him out. Give him a follow. Give him some support because he's super talented dude. But what do you say we crack on with the proceedings, my man?
I think that's a very good idea.
fabulous. Well, if you haven't already guessed already from the episode title or the name of the YouTube stream that you're watching us on right now, we are going to be doing a full CW wrap up. Now, of course, what we're referring to here is the CW DC universe consisting of Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and the now newly sort of the new addition to the CW, if you will, Supergirl.
Now,
So, of course, it was season 2 of Supergirl.
I'm going to have to interject here, guys. No, it's okay.
Sorry,
Don't worry about it. I'm going to just say I never actually caught up with Supergirl. I watched the first few episodes, I think it was 4 or 5 episodes, something like that. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to watch this anymore. So I'm going to let you do that one. And then obviously we can talk about the other 3 as well.
Well, to be honest, Sam, the intention, what I kind of planned with this is that for me to just give you a super quick wrap up of Supergirl at the beginning of this. Then we'll crack on with the other shows. But I was just saying then, we've got Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. We're talking series 2 of Supergirl, series 3 of Flash, series 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, and series 6 of Arrow. I think I want to say
5
of Arrow. My mistake. And just generally talking, like, I think it's crazy. I mean, if you're a regular listener of the Open Up House podcast, you'll know that we speak briefly now and again about the CW shows. We'll do a little kind of recap. And we always say things like, I'm not going to say too much because, of course, we've got the wrap-up show coming up. And then 20 minutes later, we're like, still balls deep in this conversation. But it's amazing how one series you can say, oh, Arrow's brilliant, Flash is shit, Legends of Tomorrow is shit. And then all of a sudden, next series, you're completely changing your opinion about all of these shows.
Yeah, definitely. Do you remember though when like Flash first came out though, we would literally dedicate an entire episode to reviewing of our own podcast, to reviewing an episode of Flash or Arrow or whatever it happens to be, or both of them. And now we just don't talk about it at all, and we've been reduced. I think this is also like not a testament to the show, but kind of like how poor these seasons, not poor, but sort of how uneventful these series have been, that we can wrap an entire season up in just one episode. And it doesn't bode well for the future, really, does it? I know these shows have been renewed for like a third, as obviously a third, a fourth, and a 6th season. But where does it leave us when we're really not that interested in it, I suppose?
Well, that's it. I mean, what we're going to spend maybe, like, I'd say an average of maybe 15 minutes per season, I'd say, in this episode. And it used to be, it's Flash pilot episode where we talk about like the first episode for like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, man. It was slightly surreal to kind of see where we've come. But anyway, let's crack on now. Also, in the midst of all of this guff, I think we'll probably start on this after I've talked about Supergirl for a few minutes. We are going to be doing our now annual CW awards. Now we have, and we've come up with categories and nominees for various different sorts of shows and whatnot. Now, we're not talking best actor, best episode. Oh no, that wouldn't go along with the brand of the Eastwood Boys being cynical assholes. We are talking about the things that really, really piss us off in these shows. So I was thinking what we can do is we'll sort, because obviously we're going to break the show up into segments. So we'll do a segment, couple of awards, and go forth like that. Does that sound good to you, Sam?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Do you want to have a quick rundown of the awards that we're going to be presenting tonight?
Indeed, I feel like we need some like award show music like on in the background. What do you reckon?
Yeah, like some crowds cheering and stuff like that. See if you can find something.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we need like a bit of red carpet stuff, don't we?
Yeah, some proper generic sort of orchestral music to say that we are actually doing an award show.
Yeah, we'll do. So hang on, background crowd cheering. We're gonna do a bit of red carpet action first.
Oh, go on. Let's have a bit of that then.
Well, obviously I've just here we go. Opened up a YouTube link and managed to get an advert already.
Oh, you've been to vote, by the way.
Here we go. That's what we want. We need a bit of cheering. Can you hear that, Sam?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here live on the red carpet of the first annual Open All Powers CW Awards. I mean, the crowd is really amassing here, Sam. I don't know if you can hear the people going crazy in the background there. It's quite something, quite an atmosphere. All the stars are lining up. Oh, there's Oliver. Oh, there's Diggle. Harrison Wells. He's playing HR and Harrison tonight. I mean, really, just the stars have really turned out. Awesome atmosphere. I'll just give you a little rundown of the awards that we'll be going through tonight, Sam. We have, of course, the whisperer / grunter / mumbler of the year. Of course, the nominees.
Always highly contested.
Always highly contested because, of course, now in the CW, there has to be at least one character or villain who has to whisper their way through every single episode. And the nominees here are Mick Rory, Harrison Wells, Adrian Chase, and Diggle. Now, of course, we know Diggle has been one of the resident whisperers for quite some time now. Let's see if he can grasp onto that award despite these promising newcomers. Now, Sam, moving on to the next award, we have the award for I Have the Power of a God, but get defeated far too fucking easily. I kind of ad-lib the fucking in there, but we've of course got the Flash / any speedster, basically. We've got the now non-existent Ragman.
Oh, yes.
Of course, Supergirl, and then the final nominee is Firestorm.
Oh, Firestorm.
Moving on, we've got
Firestorm is the bookie's favorite for this one.
And now also as well, let's move on. Now this is a big favorite. This is the one that a lot of people are really kind of hoping to walk away with this evening. We've got the fake coffee drinker of the year. Of course, we all know that people love to fake drink coffee whilst in CC jitters in Flash. So of course the nominees are HR, Barry Allen, Iris, or any random jitters extra that sits in the background.
I hope we've got a lot of awards because there's a good chance an extra could win that one. An extra could win the fake coffee drinker of the year. Now, I don't think HR's in with a very good chance of getting this one, as he did actually get slightly better throughout the series. However, you never know what might turn up.
Anything can happen at the CW Awards, Sam. Let's just say that. Now, this is a big one. Now, this is the one that whittling down the nominees was damn near impossible. We, of course, have the award for Convenient Technology Invention of the Year. Of course, the nominees are...
this year.
Indeed. We've got Caitlin's anti-meta necklace, which she seemed to steal from Nora Freeze in Batman and Robin. We also have got Supergirl's handheld multiverse transporter.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That one.
Who could, of course, forget the Legends of Tomorrow memory restoration ray, or whatever that. I can't remember what it was called. I just made something up for that.
Oh, stolen from the Men in Black, of course. Yep.
Of course, yeah. Now, this is my absolute favorite. This is something that I threw in at the very last minute, but the Wave Riders language translator pills / replicator wardrobe.
That was a stroke. That was a stroke of coincidence, that one, and convenience.
It truly was indeed. Oh, the crowd seems to have died down. So let's now get some. Let's go for some award show music.
We've gone inside. That's why.
That's right. Yeah, we're now inside. We're now sort of making. Here we go.
Making our way through the crowds.
Awards ceremony
to the
instrument.
front.
Here we go. This is going to sound good, I think. Oh yeah. Nice.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the CW Awards.
I'm just going to play that every time we introduce a new award. Yeah. And of course, we have two more categories to talk about. We have the award for I Don't Give a Fuck About Your Struggling Relationship. Please just fight some bad guys. Of course, we have the nominees Supergirl and Monel, Barry and Iris, Nate and Amaya, Felicity and brackets this season's basically piece of fluff, because who gives a crap who she's banging, what she's like trapping off with someone. And then, of course, only 3 nominees in this last category, so all the more chance to win. We've got the award for If This Was Reality, I'd Have Been Fired from My Job Months Ago. We, of course, have the nominees Alex Danvers, Julian, played by the geezer from Harry Potter, and of course Iris, who apparently works for a fucking news a newspaper or magazine or whatever the hell it is.
I think it's a newspaper, isn't it? Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. So those, you know what? In fact, actually, I'm thinking now, because in order to kind of understand those kind of aspects, I suppose we're going to have to go through the various shows, aren't we? So maybe we'll come back to those at the end. And now I will just say, we've just been joined by John from Dork of All Trades. He's just said, "Howdy ho, fuckers." So good to see you, my man.
Hey, John.
Now, Indeed. Now, let's crack on with a few things. I am going to talk about Supergirl, Sam. I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a wrap up, not talking too much about it, but yeah, I kind of just want to break it down. The crux of this series. The crux of this series has kind of been based around the character Mon-El, who was he was a Daxamite from the planet Daxam. Now that in the Superman sort of Krypton storyline goes that Daxam was a planet near Krypton, and then when Krypton started to implode due to like the overmining and stuff, it obviously created this asteroid field, and the planet's kind of implosion destroyed Daxam as well. So there's kind of this sort of rivalry, if you will. And the flashbacks basically show this young guy, Mon-El, being sent off in a little pod away because he was the son of the royal family. He was a prince, effectively.
Right.
So of course he lands on Earth as a fully grown male, handsome and mischievous, and of course he falls in love with Kara. And the kind of the main sort of, I suppose one of the main storylines has been this idea of him adjusting to Earth, adjusting to sort of the real life, understanding Earth culture and Earth customs and that kind of thing, but as well also kind of striving to be a hero, if you will. And then, of course, he fought with Kara. We also have the storyline that Jimmy Olsen became the vigilante guardian with the
yes, I remember that. Yeah,
was just embarrassingly awful, and Jimmy Olsen became like head of Catco, which was just, oh god, it was so bad. And yeah, there's been a few other kind of odds and sods as well. The sort of finale to the series was Terry Hatcher coming into it as like the queen of Daxam. She came in with this ship essentially, and she was demanding that Mon-El return to her. And she was going to destroy Earth, which she inevitably does anyway. There's this huge invasion fleet that arrives through a giant Stargate for some reason. It makes sense. Another one of the big characters in this series was Lena Luthor, who of course was Lex Luthor's sister, who wasn't a bad character. She was of course fit the bill of a CW character in the fact that she was smoking hot, but she was fine. she built a friendship with Supergirl, well, with Kara and Supergirl, I should say, which was kind of good. And that's kind of it, really. We've had a little bit more kind of John Jones as Martian Manhunter. We had a story with McGann as what's she called now?
Miss
the female Martian, Miss Martian. That's the one. Yeah. So it's kind of been a little bit all over the place, but it's been an okay series. Supergirl is kind of like the show that I sort of I wait for a few episodes to rack up, and then I just watch them just kind of out of necessity, really.
Yeah.
And there was an episode I think that I actually mentioned on the podcast a little while ago, and it was an episode that had Mr. Mixel-Pidlick, I think he's called.
Yeah, I remember him. The interdimensional
and I spoke of that episode quite highly, actually, because it was really, really well done. The guy who they cast as Mr. Mixel-Pidlick was really, really good. There was some wonderful humor, a nice little twist at the end, and it was actually a really solid episode. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Overall, the series it's the usual kind of Supergirl kind of thing where, we've got a lot of cheese, a lot of kind of female empowerment, and just that general thing. I often have to kind of remind myself that at the end of the day, this program has a target audience of young females, and it don't want to be taken seriously. Some of the special effects are a little bit gnarly, and you get a few amusing moments, you get a few kind of cringe moments, but overall it's not been that bad. I'm still going to watch the next series because I think it's just kind of force of habit, really. And I always feel like I should catch up with these programmers just on the off chance that she turns up in the Arrowverse, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of like my little bit of a scoop on Supergirl. It's one of those programs as well that I can't say that I sort of pay that much attention to when I'm watching it, which is kind of bad, really. It's usually just like on in the background. So yeah, that's kind of like my two pennants, really.
Yeah, out of 10.
The series as a whole, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I think. I don't think it's I don't think it's completely average. I don't think it's completely average, but I don't think it, there's been a few kind of gleaming moments. There's been some good Martian Manhunter kind of action stuff as well, which I have actually enjoyed a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there we go. Now, what do you say, Sam? We move on to now, because we're kind of sort of hitting midway through the show, I'd say. So I think we need to talk about something that we have got quite a few bugbears with. So what do you say we move on to Flash?
The Flash,
and break down this god awful series that we've had.
Now, can I just read you my little review of it I did before? Just see what you think. See if you agree with any of these points with me.
Well, I mean, I've been gassing for about the last sort of 15 minutes or so, so I was more than happy to hand it over to Sam and let you chew a bit of airwaves for a little while.
Excellent. So basically, this is going to be, as we should have probably said it at the beginning, that this is going to be a completely spoilerific, and we will mention quite a few things in these. Now, obviously, we didn't go into too much with Supergirl because I hadn't watched it, but yeah, from now on, the Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow are going to be spoilerific. So if you haven't watched them, come back once you've watched them all, and you can give us your reviews then. So basically, this is what I wrote about the Flash. So the finale was okay. It wasn't like brilliant. It wasn't, it wasn't bad. It was just okay. We finally found out that HR died, and it wasn't Iris that died, because Iris had been pegged to die from the beginning, and it was actually HR that had died. Now, I didn't have a massive issue with this, but it was just another way to kill off Harrison Wells in order to bring a new one in for next time, which I suppose is absolutely fine. I did actually like the idea of Savitar as the main villain. Not that he was... I didn't like the idea of him being the main villain. I like the idea of him being a time remnant. But the reveal of him took way too long. Did you agree with me on that?
Sorry, say that last bit again, Sam. You broke up a little bit.
The reveal of Savitar took way too long in this series.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. To say how kind of early on he turned up in the series, it took way too long for us to actually... I think it took so long for us to actually find out who the hell he was. I kind of like got to the point where I was past caring. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I just didn't care for the character any longer after that. I was just a bit like, nah, okay, then fair enough. Now, I did like the idea of him being a time remnant. I thought that was quite a good idea. But it didn't seem to sort of go anywhere. It's like I felt like the first quarter of the series was kind of like spent like wandering around looking for a villain, but they didn't really seem to know what to do. Like they had all these like husks and stuff like that, because obviously they had the Philosopher's Stone and things like that right at the beginning, and Dr. What was the hell was he called? Julian's character. Oh God. Was it?
I want to say Dr. Fate.
Shit.
I just cannot remember. Anyway, yeah, so they had him. This is the thing. This is what I was saying to you before we came on the air. This series was 23 episodes long, and it was just too long to sort of pay that much interest. So yeah, we'll go back. The idea that Iris was going to die on early was good, and I really did like the fact that how the characters dealt with like the ticking clock. Of them, like basically it was a build up to her death essentially, and the characters the acting in this is pretty shonky, let's be honest. But I think for me, Joe and Wally definitely stood out in this series. They seem to have got a lot better, but I think the writing in this series has been quite weak. What do you think?
I would say so entirely. I mean, to kind of backtrack, as you were just talking about the amount of episodes that we've had, like I had to kind of actually pause and think like, oh shit, this series like started with Flashpoint,
Yes,
And
exactly.
I know what
yeah.
you mean about it taking too long to find a villain. And I think as well, like, I know it's hard to write a storyline for a speedster because, like, as we were saying before, in the award for, I have the power of a god but get defeated far too easily.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we understand that it must be so hard to kind of write something that involves a speedster because he can basically move. He could literally clear a room of, like, I don't know, armed henchmen before anybody could blink. It's like it's that kind of sort of power. So it's hard to kind of come up with a villain who you can sustain throughout an entire series that can sort of match him, if you will. But it's like the first series we had Eobard Thawne as Reverse Flash, awesome. Second series we had Zoom. Now that was fine because they introduced the idea of the multiverse.
Yeah.
Series had another speedster that was even quicker than the last one. Barry's going to have to, build his speed up, and
Well,
this, that, and the other.
there was two in this series as well because you had the rival right at the beginning as well.
Didn't they? So
Yeah.
I just think they've dealt with Captain Cold, and I suppose we spoke about this idea of Gorilla Grodd and Gorilla City, didn't we? And we kind of put the whole thing. The budget of the show wouldn't permit for this CGI gorilla, turning up in every single episode. But I don't know, man. I know what you mean about the writing being weak. It just felt really some of the episodes were just so lackluster, and they seemed more interested in relationships and people whining, owning, rather than actually dealing with what it's meant to be, which is kind of a thrilling superhero show. So yeah, it just. You go on, Sam.
Yeah, so it was like you're saying though, so many episodes were filler, and I kind of got the feeling that they really wanted to do something with Gorilla Grodd, but like you say, the budget just wouldn't allow, and they ended up putting him in. How many episodes was he in? Like 4 episodes, something like that. And I was like, come on, this is a main villain in the Flash universe. Either sort of commit to it or don't. It's like, I think it would have been really good if they split it into two. Split the season in 2 and had Grodd at the beginning and Savitar in the Grodd in the first half and Savitar in the second half. I think it would have worked a lot better like that. Oh god, yeah, Flashpoint, Jesus Christ. The fact that Flashpoint only lasted 1 episode really bugged me. And the Flashpoint story is a huge story arc. They could have done an entire season on that, but they didn't, or even a half a season, but they didn't. They decided to do 1 episode. And that was it. But I did like the way that Reverse Flash, I actually remembered this, Eobard Thawne tells Barry at the very beginning, is like, that he is the villain. He keeps saying like the Flash is the villain and blah blah blah, and it kind of like nicely sets up the season, and it comes full circle at the end when you find out that obviously Savitar is a time remnant. Which I did which I did actually quite like that. But again, I would have preferred the Flashpoint story to have lasted at least half the season. Other characters as well.
I think that's I was just going to say that was what we were so excited about towards the end of the second series. It's like, yeah, for God's sake, Barry's about to like shack up with Iris. Oh no, what I'll do is I'll go back in time and save my mum. And then we suddenly started asking all these questions like, oh my God, how are things going to be different? This is going to be amazing. And then the things that were different were, I don't know, Diggle's child had changed gender. And
yeah.
Oh, I know, and I totally agree, man. If we'd had like half of the series at least where he was like in this, parallel world where everything was different and he was having to deal with all these different things, they had the potential to bring in like new villains and all this kind of stuff, and it would have been so much fun. And we've mentioned this a few times before, but I'm just going to bring it up again. One of the funny things is the fact that of course, because of the fact that Barry stops Eobard Thawne from killing his mother, and then what he does is he kind of captures Eobard Thawne, takes him back to the present, this new kind of world that he's created, and he imprisons him, and he says, you've created a paradox, let's call it Flashpoint. And then throughout the rest of the series, everybody now knows this concept of Flashpoint. Like, he could have called it anything. He could have called it like, anal torture or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing is though, Barry comes back and he's like, "Oh, I've created this this secondary universe. It's called Flashpoint, apparently." I was like, "No, it's not called Flashpoint. Apparently, your enemy has just named it off the top of his head. It's not like something that actually exists." I'm just a bit like, it's not something like, "Oh my God, this is now the Flashpoint universe." It was just no, it's just something that Eobard Thawne happened to say in passing.
That's it. It was so ridiculous. I'll just say real quick that going back to Uber, we've just been joined by Jack and the Geeks Talk podcast. They just said a bit late to the party, guys, but we're here. And then they just said Flashpoint was over far too quickly. Only question: why is Caitlin the only Meta whose powers turn her evil? Now that's a good question. I also want to know how come when she turns evil, she gets this kick-ass reverb on her voice as well. What the hell's up with that? Like, it makes no.
Don't you think don't you think her story though was really inconsistent, like through the entire series?
Very, very much so. Yeah, she was. Yeah. It was one of those kind of side storylines that they felt like they wanted to throw in Caitlin as Killer Frost, but they just sort of dragged it out so much, and then that kind of romance with Julian as well. In fact, we should have had them on the nominees for fucking "We Don't Care About Your Struggling Romance."
Yeah. Oh God.
It seems as though that because of I cannot remember what the name of the character was where Savitar was using Julian as like this kind of puppet. If anybody in the chat can remember, like who was using the Philosopher's Stone to turn these people from Flashpoint back into that kind of superheroes. But I suppose two of the kind of the new heroes we got kind of feature a lot in this series, of course, was Wally as Kid Flash, and then we also had Jesse as Jesse Quick as well. So what did you think of the albeit yes, Jesse Quick kind of went back to Earth too. What did you think of the new speedsters?
I didn't have an issue with them. I just wish they didn't get beaten so easily. It seemed that every time that Wally went out, he got beaten up. It would have been nice to sort of seen him win at least one time in the field, I know he did a few times, but like a more consistent victory, if you know what I mean. Because it starts off and everyone was fine, and then it'd end and he was in the hospital section of Star Labs again, and Jesse just stood there watching him do stuff. I do enjoy the relationship between them two, to be honest with you. I think the relationships that worked in this series were were Jesse and Wally and Cisco and Gypsy. I think those ones were like probably the highlight relationships, whereas everyone else was just a bit moany and mopey. But yeah, no, I think Wally's going to have a much bigger presence in the next series. Like I say, his acting ability has got a lot better throughout this series, so I think he's going to do a lot better. I think he's going to have a much bigger presence as well. I hope he will do anyway in the next series.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Well, I'll just say real quick that Jack and the Geeks Talk have just come in saying the character was called Dr. Alchemy.
That was it.
We Have a Hulk. Welcome to you guys as well. The We Have a Hulk podcast who've just joined us. They've said that having Draco Malfoy and then featuring the Philosopher's Stone did make me chuckle. I mean, that must have been a moment for him when he read the script and he's like, the Philosopher's Stone, well done.
Well done, lads. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tim from Dog Wall Trader just come in saying Gypsy is gorgeous. Yeah, we had Gypsy as well, and we had Cisco kind of developing his powers as Vibe as well. And who was his Earth 2 counterpart?
Reverb,
Pulsar, something like that.
Something.
Reverb.
Reverb. That was it. Yeah.
That was it. So now you mentioned Gorilla Grodd before.
Yeah.
By far, I think the two-parter Gorilla Grodd episode, one of the most corrupt storylines, one of the worst set of episodes that I think we have ever seen. Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, not to mention the fact that they went along with this fucking storyline that the gorillas could take over the like take people's minds over telepathically. I mean, what kind of sort of stage direction is that? Now what I need to do is act as though you've just been taken over by a telepathic gorilla. Brilliant. Unbelievable.
Oh dear. Oh, go on.
No, carry on.
I was going to say that in the comics and in the animated Justice League, you know, some of them do have mind controlling abilities, but not to the point where they can sort of talk through them and stuff like that. And I think I can't remember if it's Gorilla Grodd or if it's the Ultimate Human Knight who has the telekinetic powers. I can never remember which one it is. I think it is actually Gorilla Grodd. But yeah, like I say, he can sort of communicate telepathically, but I'm not sure if he can control people. But yeah, I seem to remember him being able to like speak to people telepathically.
Right. I get you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in fact, what I totally forgot to mention, another one of the awards that we've got on the show, I totally forgot to mention this. Like I say, it was the most cringeworthy moment. And the first nominee is Flash's humor / gorilla kind of should unite speech. We'll go the rest of the nominees later, but fucking hell, this was just like, please will the earth swallow me up, when he's like, one day humans and gorilla kind will unite in this like amphitheater with about like 500,000 gorillas. It was
oh god, that was horrendous. That was one of like the most cringy moments I've ever seen on television. It was like, on Earth we call it peace, and like, oh come on, Barry, Jesus Christ. Oh, that was awful. That was absolutely hideous. That.
Yeah, and you know, all of these like fights with Savitar. I mean, let's talk about the fact that we learn that Savitar is a time remnant that Barry created in the future to defeat Savitar, who ends up becoming Savitar. Like, it was just this really bizarre kind of backwards storyline. Like, and did you ever sort of, when he was explaining all this, did you ever stop and sort of think like, hang on a minute, just go through that again?
Yes,
you know?
yeah. I was literally like, what? No. Hang on a sec. Draw me a diagram. It's like, get a chalkboard and go through that for me. Get one of HR's glass sheets that you can just write on with white pen, and just go through that with me again, because I really didn't understand. There was some proper sort of like Back to the Future Bill and Ted bullshit right there. I was like, my god, that did not make a lick of sense.
It was so, and then Barry had like this scarred face and spoke in this evil voice just to make sure that everybody knew he was evil. Like, the only other thing they could have done is given him a goatee. That's the only other thing they could have done to make out the fact that he's fucking evil.
Why did he have a scarred face? I didn't obviously to like differentiate him from the other one, but he's meant to have this super healing ability. So why did he have a scarred face? I didn't quite get that one at all.
God
and
knows.
it never even explained sort of like the how, because obviously like Julian finds the philosopher. Oh, Julian, geez, what an absolute, that was such a weird character. That such a sort of, I don't even know. It wasn't like a waste of space, but it was kind of like just like another person to add to Team Flash for absolutely no reason. And he went from this like really meta hater to meta lover within like literally days. It was bizarre. That no, it's like at the beginning it was like, oh, Savitar has existed since the beginning of time and is the god of speed. But then it's explained that he's from the future, and I was like, what? Hang on a minute. What? How does that even work? And then he's got this like ridiculous armor. Surely that must slow him down, having that huge, massive suit of armor on. Yes, he's still faster than the Flash.
Yeah. Oh, good grief. Well, they went with this sort of storyline that whilst he was in like the Speed Force prison, he was able to control Dr. Alchemy through all of these like thousands and thousands of years, kind of like creating this mythos of the god of speed and the first ever speedster.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I think that was general idea with that.
Yeah.
We just had a few more people coming on YouTube, the YouTube chat here. We have a Hulk have just come in and said, I really want to see more accelerated man, especially if we get more Gypsy. I'm guessing that's another hero or something like that. Geeks Talk saying most cringe moment Barry singing to Iris. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll bloody get to that. John Dogville Traders, but most cringe moment HR hitting on Joe's girlfriend in the park. We have a Hulk. Another cringe moment Earth to Harrison Wells with the ridiculously deep voice when taken over by Gorilla Grodd. Yep. And we've just had Jack of the Geeks Talk coming as well as saying, once Savitar, quote unquote, died, Wally should have lost his powers. With Savitar dead, no time remnants would have been created in the future. Future time remnant would have gone back in time to become Savitar. See, this is where it starts getting fucked up with time travel.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he says he would then not have created Dr. Alchemy, who wouldn't have given speed to Wally. So there we go. Just plot holes when it comes to time travel. It's just fucking...
Right,
it really, really is.
Can we talk about this season finale real quick? The very last sort of the 15 minutes where basically the Speed Force is falling apart and it's destroying Earth. There's like 3 people on the streets of Central City all just running backwards and forwards because apparently that's all the budget could allow for those extras.
Sure.
And the Speed Force opens up, and Barry's like, "I'm going to have to go into the Speed Force to stop it from to like sort of balance it out, to stop this from happening, to stop it from destroying Earth." I'm like, right, okay, yeah, go for it. Team Flash is now that big. It took him a solid 15 minutes to say goodbye to everybody. I'm just like, you know what, Barry? You know this Speed Force thing is destroying the city where all your loved ones live, and loads of people are dying from like falling buildings. Do you want to get on with this at all? Do you want to sort of move this along a little bit, say a big goodbye to everyone, and then hug Iris? And Iris was just like, oh, Barry, no, don't do that. You know, I need you to stay here with me. She had no emotion about the entire thing. It was just like, wow, seriously. Do you reckon he'll come back in? Do you reckon he'll come back in the first episode of the next season?
Probably like the first 10 minutes, I'd say, of the first episode. I reckon he'll return. Yeah, I think we'll probably get some.
I'm sure Cisco will have invented a Barry returning machine that you just carry it around on his keys and he presses it, and Barry just pops out the Speed Force. You know.
Yeah, it will have created some sort of virtual reality thing that you plug your Android phone into, and that takes yours. Jesus. Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be like we'll get some sort of innards within the Speed Force where Barry's living in some sort of world. Oh, I don't know, and
with his make-believe mom.
Yeah, and then they'll probably create like the ultimate speedster remnant god, bloody reverse Grodd, I don't know, just some dribble like that.
Reverse Grodd.
The reverse Grodd.
Oh man.
Let's just allude to something a moment ago. That John mentioned a second ago, and it ties in with the musical episode that they did with the music maestro, was he called?
The music maestro.
If anything can be taken from this episode, let's just face the fact that Barrowman was in this episode and got to sing, which was just awesome. And I actually watched like a making of documentary about this episode, and Barrowman just had this beaming smile on his face. He was so happy over the fact that he was doing an episode of Flash and he was basically singing in it. It was great. But one of the things that really annoys me about like when they do these Supergirl Flash crossovers, and they've done this a few times before now, you watch the Supergirl episode assuming that you need to see it in order to fucking understand like the storyline, but then the tie-in will only happen at the end of Supergirl. So I think what I've kind of learned from this now, that if you want to basically watch, you know, if there's another fucking, you know, a crossover with all these shows, it is literally just watch the last 10 minutes of Supergirl and then all the other shows. Like, I would prefer it if they kind of sort of incorporated it, you know, just a little bit more, and then we actually saw something in the Supergirl universe.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, it was like that one where they got recruited for that big battle, and literally like there was a bit of a sort of like what do you call it, black hole kind of thing, right at the end of the very end of the episode. It was just like, you could have put so much more into that.
Yeah,
but decided not to.
Totally.
Yeah, that was annoying. What did you make of Tracy, by the way? The girl who ends up building the sort of trap thing that they capture Avatar in.
She was Avatar, yeah. Avatar 4 coming out in 2063.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fine. She was an okay character. She was an okay addition. I mean, she kind of had that kooky personality, which I suppose was why she kind of matched with HR.
Yeah.
Which was, yeah, I mean, what about you? Did you like the character?
Nah, she was all right. Yeah, they'll probably stick her in the next season, but she was just your typical sort of, I'm a pretty lady scientist, so I better join Team Flash, But yeah, it was all right.
Totally, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I have to say though, just speaking of HR, like the kind of the twist at the end where you suddenly realize that HR has taken Iris's place. Like I genuinely didn't see that coming.
I didn't actually.
I was really, I was actually impressed with that. And HR was an okay character. He was a bit annoying at times, but just whenever like a good old classic Harry would feature, and then he would start whispering and say that I will do anything to rescue my daughter. And I was just like, yeah, good old Harry. That's what we want. We need whispering Harrison Wells. But you know what he's like? You know what Harrison Wells is like? He's going to be like the Doctor Who of the Flash universe. He's going to die every series or disappear and just be reincarnated with a different personality. Like we're going to get I don't know, Biker Mosher Harrison Wells next series, and he'll have like a Mohican or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Fair play to what's he called, the guy who plays him?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. But at least he's got range.
Tom Cavanagh.
Good
Tom
range.
Cavanagh.
That's the magic. Yeah, he's actually directed a couple of episodes as well.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
He has indeed.
Awesome.
Well, Sam, I know we could go on.
I was going to say, I think it's about time we moved on to some awards, because we've been rambling on about this for absolutely bloody ages. So.
Well, what we'll do is we will just return to the awards show. Bear with me.
Once Gaz found the music.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it is the annual CW Awards. There we go. Nice bit of music there. So let's. It's pretty decent, isn't it? Yeah. So let's go with an award that we were just talking about a moment ago, and of course, as we get into the other shows, a lot of these things will be explained. But of course, we were talking about the most cringe-worthy moments of the year. So we have, of course, we just mentioned a moment ago, the first nominee is Flash's human/gorilla kind should unite speech, Rip Hunter's ceasefire speech from Legends of Tomorrow, Barry sings to Iris and then proposes, and then this was a little bit of an additional one that I threw in at the end. Now you won't understand this, Sam, but I will explain in a minute. The nominee is Cat Grant and her quote unquote "I'm back" speech. Now, Cat Grant was played by the woman who was in Ally McBeal. I can't remember. Now, she was a horrible character in the first series of Supergirl. She was so patronizing and moany, and oh god, she was terrible. She'd always be like, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. Halle Berry stole my bike in Pilates again, and then I just had to catch up with Cameron Diaz for some lunch." And it was just like, shut the fuck up. Oh, she annoyed me so much. So she buggered off for the second series, and of course Jimmy took over Catco. And then whilst in the midst of Terry Hatcher's fucking Daxam invasion of only the town that Supergirl lives in, not the Earth, even though she had this armada of spacecraft, Cat Grant basically broadcasted this speech where she goes, "I'm Cat Grant and I'm back," and she broadcasted this speech to the nation, inspiring everybody to fight back and all this, that, and it was just like, please Earth swallow me up, please Earth 2 swallow me up. That that was my nominee. But I think, based on the comments that have just been coming on the YouTube as well, the fact that someone else is even reiterating this, I think that we're going to have to give it to Barry sings to Iris and then proposes. What do you think, Sam?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was that was painful. That was pretty painful.
It was just, I mean, I kind of knew it was coming, and I know they were doing like a musical themed episode, but it was, oh God, it was awful. Oh dear,
It's like one of those moments where all of a sudden you remember something really embarrassing you did when you were about 12, and you're just like, oh God, and you're just all those feelings come flooding back to you.
Let's see if I can find it on YouTube real quick.
No, don't.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, whilst you're doing that, we've just had a few messages. Tim's coming talking about wibbly wobbly timey wimey. I'm guessing that's about the Speed Force. Just written the words Barrowman, which is okay, yep. We all love a bit of Barrowman. Jack and the Geek Talk. Tom Cavanagh is incredible. I wonder what version of Wells we'll get next season. We'll have to have a poll on that. Have a bet on that. John said. Yeah, definitely. John said gotta go, so thank you for joining us, John. And Jack and the Geek Talk is Callista Flockhart, that was it. I thought it was Felicity Flockhart, but it's Callista Flockhart that played Cat Grant.
Who gives a fuck? Well, here we go. This is Barry singing to Iris.
This world can race by far too fast. Hard to see while it's all flying past. But it's clear now, when you're standing here now, I am meant to be wherever you are next to me.
Oh, and that's enough of that. Oh, God. I mean, it's enough to give a man diabetes. You know what I mean? Oh, Jesus.
The thing is, though, if you just played that without me seeing the episode and gone and said, who sings this song, I would have been like, no idea. I haven't got a clue. I wouldn't have said that was... Barry Allen at all. Just hang on 1 second. Sorry about the pants.
Oh, for God's sake, Sam.
Sorry.
Put it away, man.
There we go.
It's going to get us reported on YouTube, for God's sake. Should we throw in another award as well, Sam, do you think?
Yeah, I think you should go maybe get another one in there, yeah. Maybe even two.
Yeah, let's go. Well, you know what? This is a Flash specific award, so let's go for the fake coffee drinker of the year. Of course, if you watch the Flash, you'll know that people spend most of their time in CC Jitters, the company with possibly the best liability insurance ever, seen as how buildings always get destroyed. But people just you will see them just waving the coffee cup around. In fact, you know what? I do actually have right here. My very own Open All Powers travel coffee mug right here. People on YouTube will be able to see this. And they'll just be waving it around. It's like, no, this is meant to be filled to the brim with hot liquid, you moron. It's so bad. So, of course, the nominees are HR, of course, we've just mentioned. He loves a coffee. And we'll talk about bloody coffee in a minute. In the Arrow universe, in the Flash universe, sorry. Barry Allen, he loves a cup of coffee. Iris, and then any random Jitters extra. So what do you think, Sam? Who should win this one?
Well, to be honest with you, HR drank that much of it. I think he got slightly better with it as it went on. But I'll have to give it to Barry, because Barry absolutely sucks at it. He was terrible at his fake coffee drinking. To be fair, Iris was pretty bad at fake coffee carrying, because she'd carry a pack of 3 or 4 on one of those cardboard things, and it'd be like leaning to the left or whatever, nothing spilling out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But for fake drinking, I think Barry was pretty bad. He'd just get handed this cup of steaming coffee and then just take a massive swig of it, and just oh Jesus Christ, yeah.
Oh, geez, yes. So there we go, the award for fake coffee drinking. And that, of course, concludes our next award that we've just given away in the CW Awards. And let's crack on with another series, Sam.
I think we might have to sort of... I think we might have to take sort of a shorter look at Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow. It seems like the Flash were we'll talk about 15 minutes for each series, and for each different series, and we've managed to talk about for about half an hour on the Flash.
Well, we just had a few more comments come in. We have Hulk have just said cringe. Jack and the Geek Stalker, the hands up emoji. I think that's possibly like no, please, I give in. We have a Hulk, nice pants, Sam. Ah, ha, ha,
No, thank you
ha.
very much.
Jack and the Geek Stalker, hashtag Sam's pants, and also as well we have a trending Sam.
You know it. I give the people what they want.
Clearly, yeah. I might just like take my top off in a bit and just like give them a bit of like rogue chest hair or something like that.
Yeah,
put a bit like
right.
tape over my nipples maybe.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, of course.
Well, let's. Why don't we swiftly move on to Arrow, Sam? Because I think Legends of Tomorrow was a fun ride this season, but I really want to kind of talk about Arrow. So I'll kind of kick off with this one a little bit.
Go for it.
The last series of Arrow, which of course we saw the whole Ra's al Arrow storyline, was just truly awful. We did not, the way we kind of felt about Flash this season was how we felt about Arrow this season, and last series. And I really think that Arrow kind of turned things around as far as this latest storyline has gone along. It really kind of like, oh, actually, no, I'm talking shit. Last series was Damien Dark, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
no,
it was. Yeah. No, it was Ra's al Arrow and then oh hi.
Ra's al Arrow. Then it was Damien Dark.
Damien Dark, yeah.
So I mean, but still, the Damien Dark series was absolutely awful, and they really think they kind of sort of ground it in reality a little bit more. Like, and you know what? I loved the storyline with Prometheus, the vigilante, who of course is like still at large. We still don't know like what the crack with the vigilante is and all that kind of stuff, or at least I think it is. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, he is still like he made his last appearance and then just disappeared. But he kind of like, as soon as everyone realized that Adrian Chase was Prometheus, Vigilante just disappeared off the face of the planet. It was just like his storyline just never sort of concluded. He just went. And it was like, okay. And I thought he was going to turn up in the last episode, but he didn't.
Well, they did mention. I did remember reading the thing a while back saying that Vigilante was going to turn up in series 6 of Arrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I just think that they really grounded the storylines in reality with actual sort of just a street level thugs again, but kind of taking it to a grander scheme, if you will. I actually enjoyed the flashbacks to Oliver being the Bratva. And like the last time I can remember actually enjoying the flashbacks as much as part of the series was back in series 2, when it directly related to the storyline because it was to do with Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Quinn.
How are you doing, Mr. Quinn? We'll talk a little bit later about Slade Wilson now that he's mellowed and is looking a bit chubby in the old fucking Deathstroke costume, waddling along with his body armor.
It looks like he's going to have a stroke. Jeez.
Jesus Christ! It's all that. It's all that Mirakuru serum.
Obviously, they're feeding him a little too well in the Lian Yu prison there.
I know, yeah, too right. The old Argus prison. It's been good though. Like, I in a way, having Mr. Terrific in this series has made us realize that Felicity isn't the most annoying character in the world, because he has basically become like.
He's another one that never won anything. You know what I was saying before about Wally never won a fight or anything like that? Every time Mr. Terrific was out on the street, in the field, he never won. He always got beat up.
Yeah, he was terrible, absolutely terrible. And then, actually, you know what? We should have added his bloody T-spheres into the Convenient Technology of the Year award, for God's sake.
The only power he had was instant cornrows, and that was it.
That was it, man. He's got some invention for disco.
Cornrows in a can.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's like Black Canary has her gothic makeup in a can.
Oh yeah.
Better get my eyeliner on. I can't go out into the field. But yeah, no, like I was saying, it's been good, man. Yes, Felicity's been annoying. Yes, Oliver, he doesn't so much whisper, except sort of talk in a very kind of faint voice, like this, like, he'll be talking to not obviously not in a British accent. I seem to have lost it a little bit here, but I don't know. I seem to if Oliver was British, he'd be talking very poshly like this. But yeah,
Oh man, you
he's
lost
another
that.
bloody chronic whisperer as well, just talking like, for God's sake, can these people not speak up? Like, they must, the boom mic used in the filming of these programs must be teetering on the brim of the frame of shot so they can actually capture some sound coming out of these people. But I've not minded the story of Oliver being mayor. That's been fine. There's been some good action, and I genuinely think the whole arc with Adrian Chase I thought was really, really good. Again, someone who instantly became, as soon as we knew he was a villain, he then started whispering as well. But I just think one of those actors who just plays a nasty piece of shit so well, and an actual believable kind of vengeance story as well. Probably the most believable one I've seen since, like, fucking Slade Wilson being on the job. So yeah, that's kind of my dependence just in general. Like, what have you thought about Arrow? This.
I think this series, despite the fact that it has, like I said, was saying before we came on, this series has been 26 episodes long, and I feel like a lot of the storylines were like reiterated. A lot of them, they sort of like Curtis's sort of marital issues, they sort of reiterated over and over again, and it wasn't necessary. They could have quite easily cut it down quite a lot, but it was good. I think it was really good. The only issue I really had with it was the fact that none of the mob boss stories got resolved. Apart from that one right at the beginning, they kind of like everyone just kind of like dwindled off at the end. I really like the new characters. I think Wild Dog needs to get himself a new costume because that jumper, his jumper and hockey mask really. To say that like Mr. Terrific and Red Arrow and Arsenal and Green Arrow are all running around in these kick-ass leather costumes, and then here comes Wild Dog in his fucking jumper and his hockey mask, gun-toting hockey mask. It was just like a bit ridiculous. The character that really stood out for me, sort of like as like a main character, was definitely Adrian Chase. I think he's like held the entire show together. But yeah, no, I liked it. I think it was pretty good. The only gripe of a character that I have real issues with is Evelyn, who was Artemis. And she was so annoying. She was like, oh, I'm going to, she betrayed Team Arrow to Prometheus because Oliver had lied to her about the fact that that he used to be a killer, but Prometheus is also a killer. So she didn't have a problem with the killing; it was the lying that she had a problem with. I was just like, you have betrayed your team for some unknown reason. And towards the end, she got so annoying, like literally unbearable as a character. But other than that, I think it was good. I liked the cliffhanger ending as well. That was pretty cool.
Definitely.
But yeah,
that was really, really good. Yeah. Well, we're just going back to the YouTube. We've just had the Geek Stock come in saying not finding out who Vigilante was pissed me off so much, and then we have a Hulk come in explain in the next series, but yeah, pretty annoying. And then they also said John Segarra was the best thing about the Arrow series. So the guy who played Adrian Chase. And I want to just give a quick shout out to We Have a Hulk as well. I mean, props to those guys, because they're most of their recent episodes, they have practically interviewed every sort of member of the supporting cast of Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. Like, ridiculously so. They've interviewed the guy who played Mr. Terrific. They've had Adrian Chase. They've had Vixen in Legends, fucking Rip Hunter as well, who was like, from the interview, was just like one of the nicest guys ever. So honestly, like, as well as obviously all these other podcasts who have been mentioned as well, Jack and the Geeks Talk, Dork of All Trades, Superhero Speak, go and check out We Have a Hulk and just look at their roster of interviews that they've done, because like, hats off guys for like arranging those and getting those sorted. But that's besides the point. One episode I wanted to mention specifically in Arrow, which I think has been like one of my favorites. Like, if we were doing top 5 episodes for the CW, like, I think I'd throw this up there. And it was the one where we learned about Wild Dog's origin story. Which where he came back from the military and he kind of suffered from like PTSD, and he ended up like losing his wife to like drug addiction, and the very end scene where he's like kind of looking out on the mayhem of the streets and he sees like the hockey mask, like that was just so comic book. Like I could literally, I was watching that program of a comic book returning. I just thought it was really, really well done and a nice kind of addition. It didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel like they're just like shoehorning this in for the sake of it. It felt like a legitimate origin story that we kind of needed to know. And also as well, a bugbear. Why does he call everybody Hoss? Right? What the hell is this? It's like, you gotta give me a Hoss. Like, what is this? It's like, because at first I heard it's like a nickname for someone, but then I realized he calls everybody Hoss. Like, I don't understand it, dude.
I have no idea. I honestly could not tell you that. Maybe it's a military thing.
Quite possibly. If anybody out there in the podcasting world, YouTube world, whatever, knows why Wild Dog calls everybody Hoss, then fuck's sake.
Oh fuck! Wait, we had the new Black Canary right at the end of the series as well. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
well, I didn't mind her. We had,
yeah. No, she was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. So let's talk about this last episode, because the penultimate episode where Oliver goes to see Slade Wilson, I loved that. It was such a great scene. But then when we have him in the costume, and he's about 5.5 foot tall as well, this guy, like, could he have not got like a stunt double who was a bit taller, waddling along in the daytime through this forest?
It doesn't work in the day, does it?
It was just so funny. But what did you think about the whole kind of climax, the whole kind of like Adrian Chase big sort of finale fight scene?
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was. I thought the entire episode was really kick-ass. I thought it was awesome. I found it quite funny that that Oliver was like, right, Malcolm Merlin, will you come and help me? Talia al Ghul, you'll come and help me. You know, Deathstroke, you'll come and help me. And everyone went, okay. And just like, right, okay, yeah, no issues there, no problem. But yeah, no, I thought the entire like the end story was a good idea. Where obviously the C4 was linked to Prometheus, and if he died, then the island would go boom, kind of stuff. But I think it gives it gives the idea that these people will return as well, like Talia, Malcolm Merlin, Deathstroke. They're all going to return in future series to come back as villains, which is really cool. It's good and bad, because they've all been good villains, but at the same time they kind of go, well, are you running out of villains to be able to throw in there, kind of thing? Yeah. I liked it for the season finale. I thought it was miles better than the Flash series finale anyway. So.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Arrow was the only series finale that I was legitimately on the edge of my seat in that moment in the boat with Oliver's son. Like, I just genuinely did not know what was going to happen. It was so exciting. And, just good kind of genuine acting as well. And you know what? Like that episode where Felicity and Oliver were kind of stranded in the Arrow cave because of like, that was a full-on filler episode. Like, mind that, to be honest with you. It was fine. For a filler episode, it wasn't actually that bad. I mean, I know we kind of expect them to be a little bit shonky, but not bad at all.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a good series. I enjoyed this series.
Yeah. Well, Sam, we just kind of going back. Obviously, you asked me for a rating on Supergirl. We never actually gave Flash a rating. So should we give Arrow an out of 10, and then we'll go back to Flash in a minute?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'd like I say, I really enjoyed this series. A couple of characters that were a bit, a bit shonky. Lots of filler episodes, but I enjoyed it for what it is. So I'd definitely give it a 7 out of 10. Can't compare it to season 2, which has been the best series so far. So I'd give it maybe a 6 or a 7. A 7. I'll give it a 7.
I was thinking 7 as well. I'd even possibly push it to 8 as well. I think if we just kind of basing the ratings on the other series as well. So yeah, kind of 7.5 to 8, something like that. Yeah. And just going back to Flash, how would you rate that, Sam?
4.
That generous, eh?
yeah. I was gonna go 3, but there were some quite amusing parts, so I thought 4.
That's fair enough. I think I'd probably go for actually. You know what? I'd probably say 5, just because it's just been incredibly average. There's been some okay moments, but nothing to kind of crack home about.
No.
Very,
very disappointing.
So, what do you? We go back to the old CW awards.
Definitely.
And step back onto the red carpet, and once again, it's that music is so awful.
That's great. It's better than Barry singing, let's be honest.
Hells yeah. Okay, well, I think with that, we might go into the I Don't Give a Fuck About Your Struggling Relationship Award. Please just fight some bad guys. Of course, we have the nominees Supergirl and Monel, Barry and Iris, Nate and Amaya, or Felicity and anybody she's shagging at the time, really. Who gives a fuck? Because, of course, she did have a boyfriend who Arrow killed that she got over in about 15 minutes.
I love that.
Feeling about this one, Sam? I'm kind of tempted, just because it was pretty much the crux of the storyline, to kind of go with Barry and Iris on that one. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I'm quite happy to agree with you. Yeah, Barry and Iris. Like even in past episodes, it's been horrible. In past series, so it's been horrible. So yeah, culminating in a singing marriage proposal. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. So yes, congratulations, Barry and Iris. Please deal with your relationship so we can actually see some people fighting some bad guys. And well, I think now that we should go to one of the big daddies as well. This is the highly sought after award. This is what people live for in the CW, and this is of course the Whisperer / Grunter / Mumbler of the year. We of course have the nominees Mick Rory. who could forget such classic lines as Nazis? I hate nuts. We have, of course, Harrison Wells, and we're talking the original Harrison Wells, who will do whatever it takes to rescue his daughter. We have, of course, Adrian Chase, who I can't do an impression of. And then we have, of course, CW favorite, in fact, Open All Powers favorite, Diggle. I ain't got time for this award show. I gotta take care of my brother Andy. Who has been your Whisperer, Grunter / Mumbler of the year, would you say?
See, I think Adrian Chase was good, but he only started mumbling once he was revealed as the villain. So I think he only had like half a season of mumbling. Diggle has been a consistent mumbler for me. I think he's been really good. Harrison Wells, I don't think he was in it enough to be given this award. And Mick Rory did actually have some moments where he actually spoke normally. So I'm gonna have to give it to Diggle, to be honest with you.
Feeling Diggle as well for consistency from the moment we met Diggle to up until now. He has just been this constant whisperer, and he gives some pretty sort of rousing speeches as well. In fact, I'm going to play a little bit of Diggle right now for you, where he's talking. This is from the scene where he's talking to Oliver. Oliver's basically decided that Adrian Chase is right. I'm a murderer. I shouldn't be doing this. So Diggle's trying to sort of talk some sense into him.
Feel better? No. I'm not done, Oliver.
No.
You and me, we're never going to be done. Do you understand that? Listen, man, you can tell me that you're a serial killer, that you're crazy, or you're whatever Chase has shoved into your head. But I'm not believing any of that, even if you do. And that's because I know the kind of man you are, Oliver. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I know. And you don't need to punish yourself or isolate yourself. But what you need to do is stop pushing me away. Because I'm not going anywhere, Oliver. Do you get that?
What do you want me to do, John? I've told you what I am, who I am. And even if you don't believe it, I do. I do. So I don't know where that leaves us.
You see, even Oliver went into a little bit of whispering at the end there as well.
Even when he's shouting, he's whispering.
Well, we originally noticed this when he used to be just chirped on every single week about his brother Andy. Oh, my brother Andy, all the time.
Oh God. Oh, geez.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes, so congratulations, Diggle, for that
Yeah, I
award.
was going to say congratulations, Diggle. Well done.
And we will return to the CW Awards later on after these commercial breaks. Do you enjoy coffee? Do you enjoy drinking a fake mug of hot, steamy beverage that's named after a superhero, as after a supervillain serial killer from your city? Do you enjoy a building that's regularly destroyed by metahumans, villains, and other such types of thugs? Then come down to CC Jitters. We'll serve you the Zoom Espresso. We'll serve you the Captain Cold Frappuccino.
Oh my God.
Oh dear! In fact, you know what? I'm gonna throw in another random award at the end of this as well, which I'm gonna surprise everybody with later. But moving on swiftly on, last but not least, I think. Oh, actually, did we give Arrow a rating? Did we do that?
Yes, we did. Yeah. I said 7.
We did
You
indeed.
said 7.
Of course. I said 7.5 instead of 8. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah.
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's move on to Legends of Tomorrow now.
Legends of Tomorrow.
I'm going to throw this one straight over to you, Sam, and say a few things about the second series and what you thought about it.
I started off really well. I think this has actually been my favorite series out of the 3 that I have watched. I think this has been my favorite. Now, the acting in this is terrible. Everyone has got that much ham on the screen. You could like fill a small Subway sandwich with it. And the effect. I think the effects have been really good, actually. To say how low a budget this show has actually got, I think like the scenes with the Wave Rider and stuff like that, and the costumes that they put into it, and they're meant to be on a battlefield in the World War One, and there's only 20 people running around or anything like that. Why can I hear myself?
Sorry, I just had to refresh the YouTube link then that's got the chat in. So you were listening to yourself from about 4 seconds ago. Sam, you were listening to a time remnant of yourself. You've actually got half a burnt face like a margarita pizza.
Hang on. There we go.
Side fringe. You've got a really bad side fringe and a metallic armor that looks like the special effects from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
No, I've really enjoyed this series. I think it's been really good. The villains in this have been absolutely brilliant. Eobard Thawne running around in that black leather jacket has just been the highlight of this series. And the fact I love that jacket. I think it's amazing. The Spear of Destiny story, I think, has been really, really good. It's been ridiculous, but I think it's been good. And I think that the second half of the series kind of like went downhill a little bit, because I preferred it if they hadn't found Rip Hunter, because he's just shit. But when he was like the episode where like the Star Wars themed episode and stuff like that, where he was friends with George Lucas, and he was he like there was all these sorts of Star Wars references in it, like the garbage crusher and stuff like that. I thought that was absolutely genius. But I have genuinely enjoyed this series.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, just alluding to what you were saying there, Sam, Jack and the Geeks Talk have just come in saying, I think George Lucas has shares in Legends, so many Star Wars references, and even an episode where his younger self saves the world by making films. Like, that was just so hilarious. I remember I was watching that episode with Dad, actually, and we both looked at each other and we just rolled our eyes where they were in the trash compactor being crushed. Like, so quick with something. It was just so camp. You're right, man. This villain team up of Eobard Thawne, Damien Dark, and Barrowman was amazing. Like Barrowman and the Barrowman and Damien Dark banter was just this.
Oh, the monologues in this were just genius.
It was great, man. And you watch these programs and you can so tell they're having just a hoot and a half on set.
Yeah.
They're having so much fun kind of with these kind of rivalries. And you're right, man. I mean, fuck's sake. I mean, Mick Rory, we mentioned before, props to him for just keeping up this ludicrous voice. But the thing is as well, when the
Captain Cold.
or was it Wentworth Miller as Captain Cold? He turns up and he starts talking like this. Flash, end of the road. You've turned away from your villain ways, drinking cheap whiskey. It's just so stupid. And again, just an amiss of just beautiful people, just cheesy one-liners, stupid scenarios. We've mentioned it before on the show, like it just became like this fun sci-fi serial. Like what Legends of Tomorrow has kind of become like a slightly lower budget version of what I used to love about Doctor Who, which is kind of an irony. The fact that it involves a time machine and has a previous cast member of Doctor Who. Well, that's the thing. Like it's just so much fun. It was always my kickback show. I know it would always be ludicrous. We Have a Hook have just said, I love Mick Rory's intro to the show. That was another thing. Yeah. Everybody had their own version of the intro to the show. We're not heroes. We're legends. But first...
That ship seemed to have an endless supply of alcohol.
It really did, didn't it? There was probably some sort of replicator that just created beer all the time. I'm trying to think of some of the highlight episodes. Oh, I'll tell you what. One of the episodes that proper just like took me by surprise was the one where Jackson. What the hell is he called? Jackson? Is he first name Jackson? The guy who's the other half of Firestorm. Yeah, that's right. He gets like captured and he's like in that cellar, like tied up with all the like in these songs. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like really heavy stuff for like a family kind of driven show, and they did deal with that. They played to him for the fact that they deal with like era kind of base stereotypes and racial profile.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really it was
racism and stuff like that. Fair play to him for actually dealing with that kind of thing and actually making mention of it. Genuinely impressed with them. But I mean, I'm trying to think of like a couple of specific episodes. The one with just
one that stood
Jackson,
out for me, there was the one with Jackson. The one that stood out for me was the one where they get trapped in the Jurassic Age, and there's that fucking T-Rex stomping around, which you never actually see. Oh no, you do actually see it. It's CGI'd, and that one stood out for me for just being ridiculous. There was the one, any episode where there's like a female leader involved or some kind of female main character just happens to be gay, so Sarah can make out with them. It was like, oh my god. But yeah, like we were saying before about the World War I episode where Rip Hunter gives his ceasefire speech, which is just, oh good god. The J.R.R. Tolkien episode. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
So good.
Yeah.
I think probably the George Lucas episode was probably my favorite. I think I have to say, like, that was so good. Jack and the Geek Sock have just come in saying the Al Capone episode was crap. I'm not sure if I remember. Oh yeah, they had to like steal a notepad from Al Capone or something like that.
Yeah, had he like his taxes in or something like that, and he was like a tax evasion. Yeah, let me just turn the light on a second, because it's looking really dark on my screen at the moment. Hang on 1 second.
So if we see your pants again, Sam, it's going to really sort of emphasize this sort of late night show thing that you've got going on,
There we go. That's better. Can see you again now.
I think the one thing that annoys me about fucking Legends of Tomorrow, and it alludes to this category that we had before in the awards for I Have the Power of a God, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that is just like this mighty beast, and as well, and he can't do anything. He just fires fireballs around the villains, and but then we get like Ray as Atom, but he doesn't shrink to an atom. He's like the size of a 6-inch action figure. He's like a bloody frustrating blue bottle that's like whizzing around people's heads. It's absolutely absurd.
Oh, speaking of him shrinking down, the episode where they go to the moon, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a really good one actually, where he has to kind of like team up with Eobard Thawne. Yeah, I think that was really, really cool. That was what made this series exciting. The fact that there was this constant chase between the Legion of Doom and obviously the Legends, and the fact that they're trying to track down these pieces of the Spear of Destiny, and you know, it all sort of comes together in like them trying to sort of rewrite reality. It was just romp of a series, just so many laughs, so many kind of stupid moments. Really, really good, man. I know obviously we kind of wrapping this one up quite quickly, but we have gone over quite a bit. So any kind of few final things you want to say about Legends of Tomorrow, Sam?
No. I thought, like I say, I think the entire series has been really good. I didn't quite buy into the sort of relationship between what's it called, Citizen Steel and Vixen, not Vixen, Vixen. But Nathan and Amaya, that was it, yeah. But it was all right for what it was, and I think they needed to have some kind of relationship in it where it wasn't Sarah just shagging any woman she came across, so.
Yeah, totally. We've just had Jack and the Geeks Talk come in, #Sampants again. And also, they said, what was with the Camelot episode? Were they fine with Stargirl changing all of history? I'm not sure if I remember what that reference is to, but hey ho, it's just they're fine with changing history all the time, clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief, good grief. So, Sam, what would you give Legends of Tomorrow out of a 10 for the series as a whole?
I think I'll give it a 6/7 out of 10.
Yeah, you know what? I think just based on the fact that this rating is just ground within just the 4 CW shows, I think I'd actually give it a 10 out of 10, because there is legitimately there's been a few kind of odd moments that I've sort of been a bit like, oh, that's not that great. But as far as just returning back and forth to sorry, not back and forth, just coming back to a show week in, week out, and always just enjoying the episode, like I genuinely can't complain. It's just been so much fun, always one that I've kind of enjoyed from start to finish. So yeah, I'm so pumped for the next series. I just hope they keep this level of kind of camp humor and just not taking it too seriously at all. Like, yeah, fair enough, the acting's pretty terrible, no one is very good. But yeah, no, it's just it does what it says on the tin, and yeah, it works perfectly, man. I love it.
I completely agree with you there. It's like I say, it is very campy, and it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the next series as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we just had a couple more messages in the YouTube chat. We have a Hulk have just said, I would like to see more JSA, and they've said maybe next series, Jack and the Geeks Talk, maybe resurrect Our Man and actually have him do something. I'm not sure who Our Man is. You might.
He was protecting one of the pieces of the Spear of Destiny, if I remember correctly, but he died quite soon on.
Yeah, fair dues. Well, Sam, we've got a few more awards that we need to crack on with in the now annual CW Awards. So what do you say we finish off?
Excellent, yes. I'm looking forward to it, guys.
Excellent. Well, let's see, what other awards have we got? Well, we alluded to this one a moment ago, so I think we're going to have to deal with this straight away. We've got the award for I have the power of a god but get defeated far too easily. We've got the Flash / any speedster, Ragman from Arrow, Supergirl, or Firestorm from Legends of Tomorrow. Now, I'm thinking for someone who has just continually gets defeated all the time by people with far inferior powers, I'm kind of feeling like Firestorm gets his ass kicked way too much. How are you feeling about this category?
I'm quite happy to go with you on that one.
Genuinely does have, or did have, obviously his powers are now depleted, like the power of a god. He should have basically just wiped out everybody. Supergirl gets punched in the face by people who have no powers, which just doesn't make sense. And the Flash, I mean, that's just another kettle of fish. So yes, Firestorm, the combination of Dr. Martin Stein and Jackson with his overacting, and Martin Stein with his stutter for some reason. So yeah. So yeah, now this is a good one. I think this is going to be a good discussion. We've got convenient technology invention of the year. We've got
Yes.
Caitlin's antimatter necklace. Antimatter necklace. Supergirl's handheld multiverse transporter. The Legends of Tomorrow memory restoration ray, or the Wave Riders language translator pills / replicator wardrobe. How are you feeling, Sam?
You know what the pills reminded me of? Do you remember that episode of Batman with Adam West where they forgot they need to change the costumes, and and Bruce has a black pill and Dick has like a red pill, and they both take one and they just magically have their costumes on. It reminded me of that. But I'm torn between the two Legends ones, the memory one, because in the Flash you kind of forgive that one because Cisco, is a scientist and he will invent stuff like this. But the Legends Tomorrow, yes, some of them are scientists, but you never see them sort of like technology-based science and stuff like that. Now, whether the ship's creating these kind of things, I don't know. But I did like the memory restorer ray. I think that was pretty good. That was like built in about 2 seconds. I think that was a pretty good shout, that one.
The best thing about the memory restoration ray is the fact that Ray made it through his subconscious when in a Legion of Doom changed reality. Oh, let's just talk about that real quick a second. That was brilliant. Eobard Thawne has the ability to be anybody. He could be president of the universe. Oh no, he becomes the mayor of Star City. Brilliant. Yeah, what power he holds. Yeah, it was like he just made it. I was like, oh, I've something has been telling me to make this. Oh, look, it will restore our memories. It's just so bad. So yeah, without a doubt, I think the award will have to go to the memory restoration ray, or whatever the hell it was called.
Have we got any more?
Let's see what else. Oh yes, and of course now the final award. If this was reality, I'd have been fired from my job months ago. Now this is of course celebrating the people in the CW universe who seem to just never do any work. They're always helping out their vigilante team. They do fuck all, walk out of the job whenever it suits them. And the nominees are Alex Danvers from Supergirl, who just sort of wanders out of the office whenever she has a date. Has some important issue to deal with, maybe some fake coffee to drink. We have Julian from Arrow, who, now that he's joined the Arrow universe, does actually less work than Barry as far as being CSI. In fact, we should add Barry to this, actually.
Yeah, we should,
and of course, he's either at the police station talking to her dad, who also barely does any work. She's either at bloody editors fake coffee drinking. She's at bloody Star Labs helping out Flash. She's supposedly meant to be an editor, a fucking writer for a newspaper. She does absolutely jack all. You have fired in reality if they actually existed and did so little of their job.
Oh God. Because Julian did actually do a bit of his job at the beginning, as did Barry. Actually, Barry did like one episode of work. Oh God, yeah. Iris is a good shout because I think Iris, yeah, because she literally has done absolutely bollock all this series. Literally nothing.
And as soon as she got threatened with the looming sort of prophecy that she was going to be murdered, she just suddenly became a right old pansy. Oh well, I may as well take the week off. Come on, crack on with your life. You've only got 3 weeks left. And that concludes our awards. So thank you to everybody who...
you say you had an extra one?
Well, this is it, Sam. I'm just going to play the music out real quick.
Right.
And I think we should hand out a Lifetime Achievement Award to not so much a person, but more of a brand who supplies people with instantaneous, delicious fast food throughout all of the Earths, not just Earth 1, Earth 2,
I
Earth
knew
3.
you were going to say that.
Even when Flash had Eobard Thawne as his prisoner, he still fed him the fresh, meaty goodness that Big Belly Burger. Oh yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Big Belly Burger, the official fast food chain of the CW verse. No matter where you go, no matter what Earth you're on, no matter what parallel universe, no matter what realm of Flashpoint you exist in, Big Belly Burger will always supply you a burger and fries. And I have no doubt that delicious. I mean, let's just talk about. Now we're going to hear from some of the CW stars as they tell us how much they love Big Belly Burger. I ain't got time for Big Belly Burger because I got to take care of my brother Andy. Really, really special words there from Diggle. Well, I as soon as I met Mr. Queen back in series 2 as the Deathstroke, the only thing that sustained me was a good Big Belly Burger. Oh, there we go. Of course, Wilson there telling us what he really thinks. Big Belly Burger. I love Big Belly Burger. Yeah, well, thank you, Mick Rory, again for those messages. Really inspiring words from all of the CW cast, really, and how much they adore.
Here comes Harrison Wells. Let's see what Harrison's got to say about it. I thought you were going to do it again. I thought you were going to do your Harrison Wells impression, guys.
I thought you were going to go into it. I guess you did a really good impression all those years ago. I will do whatever it takes to get a Big Belly Burger whilst also rescuing my daughter. I don't know how he does it. Oh my goodness.
All
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Should we wrap this one up then?
I think we should. Well, I was going to say, Sam, any final words on the Arrow, the Flarrow verse, or Big Belly Burger for that matter?
I'm off to get myself a Big Belly Burger now and an empty cup of CC Jitters coffee. No, I've got high hopes for the next series of Arrow, high hopes for the next series of Legends, and please, for God's sake, do something decent with the Flash. Otherwise, they're gonna, by the time we get to like Flash season 8, the Star Labs is going to be like the size of Trump Tower with the amount of members of the team. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, let's hope they get some. Let's hope they pull in those recruitment posters and just stop advertising.
Oh God, yeah, it is ridiculous. Yeah, Flash, they need to do something amazing. They really, really do.
Yeah.
They need to sort of just make it just about make it about fantastical comic book kind of superhero storylines. Arrow, I'm super excited. They left it on a proper cliffhanger, so I'm super pumped to see what they're going to come up with next. Let's see what else have we got. Legends of Tomorrow, yeah, just keep doing what they're doing, just fun kick-ass stuff. And Supergirl, it's fine. Supergirl can just carry on doing what they're doing. I will dip and dive into that show when I see fit, but I can't really complain too much about it because at the end of the day, the program isn't really for sort of cantankerous 27-year-old men. So so be it. It. Shit. One thing I forgot to mention, just really quickly, the whole like crossover thing, like the invasion.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of a few thoughts on that, Sam.
It was okay. It probably could have been a lot better, but I did like the whole team up, the team up thing, and the whole Hall of Justice kind of. That was really weird as well. It's like, what is this building? Oh, it's something that Star Labs had, so I guess it's mine now. That was Barry. He was just like, no, you don't suddenly own a giant hangar or anything like that. But no, I did actually enjoy the invasion thing. That was another one piece of convenient technology. You just like plug into your alien technology and works. Fantastic. Yeah. Who knew alien technology had USB ports on it?
Yeah, it was a cool crossover. I did really like that bit where Ray went up to Supergirl and said something like, "Oh, you remind me of my cousin," which I thought was a nice little reference there. It was cool to see them all together. I did enjoy it. It was a good romp, and just a nice kind of alien invasion story. I love the banter between Barry and Oliver as well. I think because they've kind of got history. I think they have really good kind of rapport.
Yeah, it was cool.
So there we go. That is our wrap up of the CW universe. Now, I did send out an email, like a post asking people to send us their little kind of a 2-minute message, kind of telling us what they thought about the CW verse, or any episodes or the series, whatever they wanted to say. Now, I have had a few messages from people saying that like they're gonna send them like a bit later on. So this episode will be released this weekend. Today is a Thursday, so if we get any kind of stuff sent over, then what I'll do is I'll probably just intersplice it with this episode, and you'll hopefully you've got to the end of the episode, then you will have heard what other people and what our listeners and what our kind of podcasting friends have had to say about the various shows.
Awesome.
But Sam, do you want to sign us off with a bit of social media presence, my man?
Of course I will. Yes, of course, no problem. So you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter. Just search Open All Powers Podcast. And if you want to listen to us, you can find us on YouTube now. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher Radio, the Satchel app, and SoundCloud. So check us out. And if you want some merchandise, if you want some Open All Powers, or even if you want some All Seeing Guys merchandise, head over to Redbubble and just search either Open All Powers Podcast or the All Seeing Guys Podcast, and you'll be able to find t-shirts and mugs and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, get on there. So with that, I think we shall say goodbye from our CW wrap-up. I have been the Scrabble Master General, Mr. Sam Eastwood, and I have been joined, as ever, by my co-host and my brother, and my look at those nostrils. Look at those nostrils go. Look at him. Look at him in his big nostrils. Oh dear.
It's say something. You won't come up on the screen, you fucking tit.
It's
my name is the local. I will just add as well, if you head over to the shop as well on the Redbubble site, we've also got stickers there as well now.
The
it's
stickers on there as well.
It's a RAM sticker logo, and then round the I'm really happy with the way they look, actually. Round the border, it's got our zero budget, zero effort slogan, and then also the hashtag titty sprinkles as well. If you want 10 stickers, you get 50% off. So I've ordered like a bucket load. I'm just going to stick them all over the place and spread the word.
Awesome.
I will just say real quick, thank you to everybody who's joined us in the YouTube chat tonight. We had 7 people watching at one point, Sam. That's like a record for us. It's amazing.
Wow, it's a record for us, that. Yeah, it's like when we first started, we had like 7 listeners.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, now we've got 12. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you to David from Superhero Speak, who joined us earlier. We also had John and Tim from Dark of All Trades. We've got We Have a Hulk, and we've also got Jack and the Geeks Talk. Anybody else who is just watching and hasn't been commenting, whoever you are, thank you very, very much indeed for joining us. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Watching on YouTube, then Bella has just rocked up on the screen, which is always good. Always nice to have an appearance from the podcat. So what I will do before now, I'm going to bring in the music like that and say toodaloo, motherfuckers. Any last words, Sam? Not like before you die.
No, not for me.
Yes.
No last words for me. See you later, guys.
See.
I'll see you later, my man.
There we go. Right. I'll see you later, bud.
See you later. Take care. Bye.
Take it easy, man.